जैसे ना इकडे करू
सच में कर देते हैं कि हम दोनों को ही पढ़ा के तो फायदा ही क्या है। ट्रांसलेशन फोटोसिंथेसिस केमिकल कोऑर्डिनेशन कॉम्प्यूटर सिस्टम फिर पॉल्यूशन ये मैंने अपनी शिक्षा में टेंशन होगा लेकिन ये काम करता है आपको महान में हेल्प चाहिए क्या
बोली ना हमारे नाम से तक दिया ही नहीं बार लोग समझो ट्रांसलेशन पे सुनी आज ही आज
पूरा हो गया
हाँ पूरा काट दिया को आवाज कैसे नाम की बात अरे तुलसी में वो एक चीज लिखकर आवाज नहीं दे हाँ मतलब जल्दी स्टार्ट करता है मार अरे प्रोमो मार हाँ हाँ आधे लोग तो आएंगे आगे प्रैक्टिकल भी देखते हैं मम्मी बोल रही है तब आप करेंगे क्यों क्या बोले ना जियो इतने जियो नहीं तो जो व्हाट्सएप पे हाँ तब आप कॉन्टेस्ट कर रहा है कितना कर
Good evening, all of you. Why half of the class is empty? What happened?
Any moment we got that. Class.
Otherwise, क्या lecture रहता है यार? Free होता है?
आज भी होता है मतलब दिन का होता है.
Okay. What we were doing, we were studying photosynthesis, no, the other day. Photosynthesis, we had studied through the light reactions, I suppose you have absent about it. You concentration to make everything. Good. Maths का भी good था.
Maths class में मिस किया.
Exam कैसे गया तुम्हारा?
आपको बात करो.
300 class. We got now.
हाँ इनको मिल गया ना.
इसलिए तो वो नजरे नहीं मिला रहा है मुझसे. पढ़ाई नहीं करेगा तो कैसे मार्क्स मिलेगा? मार्क्स थोड़ी ना कोई पेड़ में थोड़ी आएगा बस और भी उसको करने के लिए. You all told me your marks. So, we'll start with some questions. I'm not asking you your mark. I have no intention to embarrass anybody. But तुमको पता है तुम्हारा marks low है. And तुम मेहनत करोगे तो of course you can get best of marks. So start studying. We'll continue with that chapter. Photosynthesis. We'll study about the rest of the chapter today. First of all, let us solve some questions. Photosynthesis. The last class we were studying what? We were studying light reactions. Okay, light reactions we have stopped. Take one question. They take two or three important questions that I want you to look for. Number one. From whatever we start with. Light reaction from photosynthesis. Number one. What is the source of what happened? What is the source of first question? Tanmay, notebook kahan hai? What is the source of oxygen released during photosynthesis? What is the source of oxygen released during photosynthesis?
You can take this question.
Huh?
You can ask questions over it.
You write and then you write what you write. What is the source of oxygen released during photosynthesis? Keep one line for the answer. Number two. Number two. Keep one line for the answer. Number two. Name the products formed. Name the products formed. Name the products formed during light reaction. Give 2 lines for the answer. Number three. Number three. What is photolysis? What is photolysis? Question mark. What is photolysis? Online students, you can hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you.
What is photolysis? Mention the products. Mention the products. Full stop. Where does this reaction take place? Mention the products, full stop. Where does this reaction take place? Where does this reaction take place? And the last one, for this you will need 3 to 4 lines for the answer. 1 sentence for writing what is photolysis. Let me see if you all remember. 1 line for writing down the equation very correctly. And then another part of the question is to write where does the reaction happen? What is the site? What is the location of this plant cells? Let me see that also, how much of you remember. The last question, number 4. Number 4. Name 2 sites. Name 2 sites of a plant where photosynthesis takes place. Full stop. What is the unit of light necessary? What is the unit of light necessary for activation of chlorophyll? What is the unit of light necessary for activation of chlorophyll? I'll give you just 5 minutes. Complete karo fast. Just 5 minutes.
So you can type this.
It's going to be for photosynthesis.
Ma'am, name the product completely like this and which reaction?
All the 4 products, all the 4 now you have to write. What are the products of light reaction? You may write on all the prominent ones at least to get full 1 mark. This is 1 mark question it is. So to get that 1 mark, you have to write all the prominent products. So start from the first. What is the prominent product you have studied?
Activation of
अच्छा, वो नहीं लिखना है. Photolysis.
Photolysis H2H plus
Hydrogen ions, electrons,
and
oxygen, and then what was the third step we studied?
Ma'am, that oxidation of NADP.
Reduction of
NADP.
NADP. So reduction of NADP से product क्या बना था?
NADPH.
NADPH2. And phosphorylation से क्या product बना था?
ADP plus phosphate inorganic gives a
प्रोडक्ट क्या बना था
ADP.
ATP, तो उतना लिखना है. So ultimately what are you writing? Hydrogen ions, electrons, oxygen, NADP, H2 and ATP. Fine.
Ma'am, are you sharing a PPT?
No, no, no. I will share, but I haven't yet.
Okay.
Because I will discuss about the factors and the experiments today.
Ma'am,
हाँ बोलो.
what is the unit of brightness?
हाँ क्या बोला था मैंने?
Photon.
Photon. Photon. PHOTON. Photon.
Okay.
So answer for the first question, what are you writing? You are writing hydrogen ions, electrons.
Ma'am, that is the second.
Second half, question 2. No, question 1 I said, no, products of light reaction I said.
And that is second one.
1 what I said. What is the source of oxygen released
What?
during photosynthesis? What? This is 2. So here you are writing NADPH2. So that becomes answer and 80. Third, what is the question third? What is photolysis? What would you write? What is photolysis? Light. Splitting of water, breakdown of water in the presence of light to release or to give rise to hydrogen ions, electrons and oxygen. Splitting of water in the presence of light to give rise to or to release hydrogen ions, electrons and oxygen. Where does this reaction take place? In the gram. Okay. Next. So we already discussed this. Number 3. Number 4. Aishwarya, what is number 4? Name 2 sites. Now 2 sites क्या लिखोगे? 2 sites. नहीं ये तो हो गया organ parts.
Palisade mesophil and sponges.
अच्छा, mesophyll cells of the leaves and guard cells. Mesophyll cells of the leaves and guard cells. Parts of the plants where photosynthesis takes place. Parts पूछा गया, organs पूछा गया. Then you have to write leaves, young green stem.
I mean, inside the leaf where.
Inside the leaf in the mesophyll cells. The question is name 2 sites. Sites अगर पूछा है specific, then sites you are actually supposed to write.
Not in this.
Not in the.
Last.
That is the exact site where the light and dark reaction is happening. That way we are classifying. So if I say that what is the site of photosynthesis? What is the exact site where the process of photosynthesis happens? in a plant. Exec site is the mesophyll cells of the leaves, the guard cells of the stomata. Now that you talk about the mesophyll cells of the leaves or the guard cells of the stomata, which organelle? Now for that you have to write in which organelle does the process of photosynthesis take place? Last. Where does the light reaction take place? Grana. Where does the dark reaction take place? Stroma. So these are the variety of question that you get. Done?
Also inside your class fair.
Thylakoids. If you have to talk about thylakoids, light reaction, grana, thylakoid, dark reaction in the stroma. So photosynthesis is overall happening in the chloroplast. But now if you have to talk about chloroplast as two distinct parts, and photosynthesis also can be divided into two distinct phases, light reaction, dark reaction. Got all of you? All of you got that, Tanmay? Did you get all the answers? Next part of the chapter that we are going to study, are you all okay with this part of the chapter? Done? Understood? Now, next is, the next part of the chapter that we are going to understand is, we are saying that for the process of photosynthesis, is stomata playing an important role? Yes. For the process of photosynthesis, are you understanding that there's a relation between the process of photosynthesis and stomata? Is there any relation between the process of photosynthesis and stomata? Yes. Because now that I talk about the stomata which are present on the surface of the leaf, stomata is present on the under surface of the leaf. And this stomata, should it remain open for a longer period of time or closed for a longer period of time to allow maximum amount of photosynthesis happen? It should remain open, no? For a longer period of time, it should remain open. Now, it should remain open. Yes, we are understanding that this stomata should remain open for a longer period of time so that the process of photosynthesis happen. But now we also have to understand that then under what condition will the stomata remain open? This is another question. So now that we are talking about that, under what condition will the stomata remain open? So if I'm saying that there should be certain theories under which, because इसका क्या हुआ? इसका वायर थोड़ा फिक्स करो यार, इसको ना एकदम थोड़ा सा भी टच करता है ना, नई दुल्हन की तरह है ये, इसको थोड़ा भी तुम टच नहीं कर सकते हो। इसको थोड़ा ना देख के रखना एक बार कि कहीं पे तो इसका लूज कनेक्शन है, इसको ये करो। हाँ हाँ ऑनलाइन आया नहीं है खाली। हाँ you can see, no? I think it will come. करो एक बार। कौन सा? एक बार इसका कनेक्शन चेक कराओ। हाँ बंद हो गया। नहीं which takes place in the stomach, and dark reaction is also known as biosynthetic phase. Yes or no? Dark reaction is also known as biosynthetic phase. In biosynthetic phase, because it is this set of reactions where glucose is getting formed. So let us see. First of all, we'll talk about a compound RUBP. RUBP, ribulose biphosphate. Bisphosphate also actually is termed as. And then carbon dioxide. Now talk about the products of the light reaction. What are the products of the light reaction? The products of the light reaction, hydrogen ions, and then electrons, and then what? ATP, and then what? NADPH2. So now that we write down that all this, along with certain type of enzyme complexes, they all will react where? In the stomach. And then ultimately this will result in the formation of the glucose. This will result in the formation of the glucose. And the breakup products, of course, again, I may write ADP and PI and NADP back again, etc. So now that I'm talking about, here again, there are a large number of those enzyme complexes necessary. So this RUBP, just here you need to remember, you don't have to study all the breakups, only this summary of dark reaction, only this much you have to study. So RUBP, when we are talking about the enzyme complex which is necessary, is majorly known as rubisco, the enzyme complexes. These are complex chemical components. Only one such has been named. As per your syllabus, only this much you have to study. That when we are talking about what is the summary of the dark reaction, the products of light reaction start reacting together. And there is one compound which readily starts reacting with carbon dioxide. Has got a great affinity for carbon dioxide, starts reacting with carbon dioxide, and all this step by step the anaerobic process of reaction and resulting in the formation of glucose, one molecule of glucose. So dark reaction, that's why we say it is a biosynthetic phase, because under this set of reactions, again, I'm writing down only the skeleton reaction, there are many set of reactions actually. So at the end of the reaction, what do we get? Glucose. Glucose is formed. Since glucose is formed, we say it is biosynthetic phase. Light reaction is called photochemical phase, since light is very much necessary.